How long does it take for your launcher to appear on screen when you press your keybind? Think about it. You hit Super D or whatever you've got mapped, and then there's a pause, a beat. Maybe it's 200 milliseconds, maybe 400. Rofi needs to load its theme, parse its CSS, render its icons, build its layout. It's fast by normal standards, but you feel the delay almost every single time. Now, imagine there's a launcher that appears in a single frame. Not exaggerating, one frame. You press the key and it's there. Already rendered, already waiting for your input, no loading, no flash, just instant. That's Fuzzel, and I think a lot of Hyprland users are sleeping on it because it doesn't look as flashy as Rofi in screenshots. But once you feel the speed difference, screenshots, just cease to be that much of an issue. What's going on, everyone? I'm Sane. I've been writing Hyprland for quite some time now, about 4 years, and I have taught lots of people how to write Hyprland for themselves, with all sorts of stuff like custom theme switchers and wallpaper switchers and everything that you could possibly ask for in a setup. And today, I'm covering Fuzzel, a Wayland native application launcher that I think deserves way more attention in the Hyprland community. I'm going to walk you through what it is, how it compares to Rofi, how to configure and theme it, and how to use it as more than just an app launcher. By the end, you'll know whether it actually belongs in your setup or not. Okay, so what is Fuzzel? Fuzzel is a Wayland native application launcher and fuzzy finder built by the same developer behind the Foot terminal. Yeah, this super fast terminal. Although there are some settings that I've got to change, especially when it comes to the colors. Okay, just the terminal is literally so freaking fast that as soon as you close it, there's still an artifact remaining of the window that was there, a ghost. Yeah, same guy who made that terminal has made Fuzzel as well, right? And it's written in C. It renders directly through the Wayland layer shell protocol. There's no XWayland, no X compatibility layers, and it's designed to do one thing extremely well: let you find and launch something as fast as physically possible. The mental model is simple. Fuzzy is to Rofi what Foot is to Kitty, where Rofi is feature-rich and complex theming, multiple modes, and extensive scripting capabilities. Fuzzel strips all of that down to the essentials. It opens, you type, it matches, you hit enter, the app launches, and you're done. The entire interaction takes less time than it takes Rofi to finish its fade and animation, if I'm exaggerating. And it has two modes. The default launcher mode scans your XDG desktop directory, so everything that you would find inside your user share applications, okay, whatever is in over here. And you also have a dmenu mode that reads lines from std in and then lets you pick one, which gets printed to std out. Between those two modes, you can build almost any selection-based workflow. Now, let me explain why Fuzzel feels instant and it's not just, it's lightweight. There are specific architectural reasons. The first one is that Fuzzel renders using the Wayland layer shell directly. It's not going through a toolkit's rendering pipeline. It's not loading a CSS engine. It's not parsing a complex theme file with gradients and shadows and nested containers and stuff. It draws directly to a Wayland surface. The path from key pressed to pixels on screen has fewer steps than any Rofi equivalent, last time I checked. Secondly, Fuzzel caches your application list. It remembers which apps you launch frequently and then sorts them to the top. The first time you run it, it scans your desktop entries. And after that, it's working from cache, so the list is already built before you open the launcher. You open it, and then the list is already there instantly. No scanning, no parsing, and no building. Third thing, the fuzzy matching algorithm is optimized for freaking massive, I'm talking massive input sets. Fuzzel can handle over 100,000 lines of input and still filter in real time as you type. For an app launcher where you have maybe 200 desktop entries, the matching is effectively instantaneous, right? You'll never type faster than Fuzzel can filter. The result is a launcher where the bottleneck is your fingers and not the software. And once you experience that, going back to a launcher with even a slight delay feels kind of sluggish if you ask me. Now, to actually install Fuzzel is pretty simple. It's there in the official repo, so you just have to Fuzzel. So here, I'm actually using an alias where I expands out to yay-s. And so once I install it this way, we'll just pass in -- needed, so I do not have to reinstall. Type in the password. Okay, it's already up to date, so it's going to skip it in my case. And that's the package being installed. To actually put this in your Hyprland config, you're going to have to do something like this. Go to your binds.conf, and let's look for where Rofi is, because right below there is an option for Fuzzel as well. Now, if you'll notice, I have something else when it comes to the Rofi line, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be good if I put that same line for Fuzzel as well. So pkill Fuzzel and Fuzzel. So what this does is basically, instead of having to press escape in order to get rid of the Fuzzel program that's currently open, okay, you create a toggle functionality in just one freaking line. So what you're doing here is basically killing Fuzzel first and then launching it again. So what does this do? Well, pkill Fuzzel. If you run this command and Fuzzel is already running, then it kills it. If it's not already running, then this command fails, and then after the semicolon, Fuzzel is the command, and so Fuzzel is going to be run. Now, I don't have to press escape every single time I want to, toggle between stuff, or at least that's how it should work. Okay, maybe the toggle feature is already implemented. So let's just try that. Okay, seems like it's just buggy when it comes to Fuzzel, probably because it's so minimal. But the thing about rofi is, okay, as you're seeing this line over here, instead of me having to, press escape every time to close rofi, I just have to press the sane keybind, and because rofi is already running, it dies, and so it acts as a toggle. Usually that should work for Fuzzel as well, but maybe because it's so minimal, it's like bugging out or something like that. Anyway, we will leave that for now. Okay, now looking at Fuzzel, it looks pretty plain and boring, and this is definitely not the theme that we're supposed to be using at all, but that's fine. We're racers, so we're going to configure it. Fuzzel's config lives at .config fuzzle.ini. Fuzzle.ini. Now I have the backup file, which I'm actually going to restore and then walk you through so that you don't have to watch me type the entire thing by hand. So let's do that. We'll just move that to config fuzzle.ini. And by the way, if you want to learn how to make custom theme switchers like this one that you're seeing over here, where all you have to do is just basically set up one script that changes your theme for literally every single application, from your file manager to your terminal to literally anything. Let's just open htop here. We'll open Yazi as well, because why not? Now, let's say I wanted to change theme to something like Dropbox material. Okay, as you can see, pretty much instantly, the theme is switched, and it does this for the browser as well. Any GTK3 application as well as GTK4 application, it's going to change immediately. If you want to learn how to make something like this yourself, not just copy and paste .files, I teach you exactly how you can do that in the first link in the description, the program. It's called Hyper Accelerator, and it's a program with over 10 hours of content where you learn exactly how to make something like this yourself. So if I just scroll down, there's modules like theme switchers, which are 2 hours long that took me just over a week to make. And here I cover what theme switchers actually are, different kinds, how to set up wallpaper-based theme switching, custom theme switching with these menus and whatnot, and the actual code part, if I were to show you here, sometime over here, right? Let's go here. Yeah. So I'm walking you through this script and then basically getting you to write it along with me so that you're not, stuck when it comes to just copying and pasting stuff. So if you want to learn how to make something like this yourself, go ahead, click the first link in the description and check out the program. Now, let's close this and we'll get back to copying this file. So copy there. And now if we open, there you go. That's the new config. Awesome. So let's go to config fuzzle.ini. Okay, great. So what's actually going on over here? It's a standard ini file, right? Sections in brackets, key value pairs, comments with hashtag. And now let's walk through the important parts. As for the font, okay, the font uses font config syntax. So it's the font name, a colon, and then the options. Size 12 sets the point size. You can add weight equals bold if you want heavier text, but I recommend regular weight for a launcher because it's cleaner. Fields, they control, okay, fields is going somewhere here. This controls what Fuzzel matches against. By default, it matches on the app name, but you can expand it to include generic names, comments, categories, and keywords from the desktop file. This means typing browser will match Firefox even though browser isn't in the name, it's in the categories. This is huge for discoverability, right? Next thing is show actions. This displays alternative actions that some desktop entries define, like new window or new private window for Firefox, extra launch options without extra work. So if I were to show you as an example, I use Brave, new window, new incognito window, stuff like that. So if you did not want that, just wanted the main .desktop applications to show, you just turn this to no, and then you will definitely get that. Lines controls how many matches are visible. 10 is my sweet spot. It's enough to see options, not enough to dominate the screen. Width, this one is in characters and not pixels. 35 characters gives you enough room for app names and, basically icons without the launcher feeling oversized. Okay, this is what 35 characters looks like. If you want to increase it, just do that, and then you're going to have to, or not gonna have to, but you will see that the size increases. So that's 45 characters. 35 is actually a very good amount. And layer. Layer is overlay. This one should be set to overlay on Hyprland. This ensures Fuzzel renders above everything, including full screen windows. Then exit on keyboard focus loss. This one makes Fuzzel dismiss when you click elsewhere. On Hyprland, this works properly. Some older Sway versions had issues with this, but on Hyprland, you're fine. Okay, now as for the theming, it's pretty simple as well, right? The color section is where your rice comes in. All colors in Fuzzel are RGBA hex, 8 characters. The last 2 characters are your alpha. FF is fully opaque, EE gives you slight transparency, and DD gives you more. If you wanted to use a color picker, then you can use instant eyedropper, as I've mentioned in one of my previous videos. Let's see if the daemon is running. Okay, daemon's not actually running, but if I were to run it, IER, now try and pick a color, let's put the color here. basically take the colors from there, and then you can use that to create your own Fuzzel theme, as you were saying over here. Pretty freaking good. Okay. Now, the match colors are what make Fuzzel feel responsive. As you type, the matching characters line up in each entry. So let's try something like brave, right? They line up in each entry, and that's what makes it feel responsive. You can see exactly why each result matched, because there's something bright against your base text, making the fuzzy matching feel alive. For the border section, width is in pixels and radius controls corner rounding. A radius of 12 with a width of 2 gives you a modern, clean look. You can push the radius to something like 20 or higher if you want, more fully rounded pill-shaped corners. And here's a feature that a lot of people miss. Fuzzel supports the include directive. You can put your colors in a separate file and include it. Now, this would be perfect for something like Wallace or Pywall integration, or even an integration for the custom theme switcher that you're saying over here. That's what I teach you inside of the program, inside of this module specifically, how you can set that up for literally any application. And because you're actually doing it with your own script and not depending on hooking into any APIs, it becomes so much more simpler. And then you can basically do it for any application that supports include directives like ini, or basically any file, toml, any config file that allows you to import stuff. If you want, you can click the first link in the description and check out the program. You can learn how to do that as well. Okay, now talking about Fuzzel being more than a launcher, here's where Fuzzel gets really interesting, okay? The dmenu mode turns it from an app launcher into a general purpose selection tool, and you can build all kinds of workflows on top of it with simple scripts. So if we were going to make a very simple power menu script, it would look something like this. So let's just call this power menu.sh. Now in here, shebang bin bash, so this is going to be our interpreter. Now choice equals, okay, now if you put this $sign and then parentheses, basically whatever's inside of these parentheses is going to be executed as a command. Now printf, so it's going to be lock, then let's make sleep and log out, then reboot and shut down, right? Typical options that you would have inside of a logout menu, as you can see here as well. Ta-da. Now let's see, Fuzzel --d menu. I'm going to put dmenu here, then lines equals 5, --width equals 15. Now it's going to execute this command, and whatever is selected, it's going to be stored in the variable of choice. Now you can use a case statement, case $choice in, and you go here, lock. What are you going to do? Hyprlock, 2 semicolons, give us space, and then 2 semicolons, and then you do the same for the rest. So sleep, so this would be systemctl suspend, and then you do the same for the rest of it. And then once you're done, you just type in esac, and then that concludes. So we've only done lock and sleep, but then we would need to do that for the rest of the ones as well. To show you what this would look like, let's just, bash power menu.sh. Yeah, you have these 2 options. If I were to lock, it's going to give an error actually because it's not running in the right user. But that's something that you can easily fix. You get the idea, right? You can make all sorts of custom menus and bind that to a key, and you've got a clean power menu that appears and responds instantly. If you wanted clipboard history, you just have to type in clip hist list, Fuzzel --d menu, and clip hist decode, and then wl copy. Now, if you execute this, okay, our entire clipboard history is now searchable through Fuzzel. This is actually, a much better idea when you compare it to using rofi for this, because Fuzzel is meant to go through lots and lots of items at the same time, okay, with near instantaneous speed, which means that if you're using Fuzzel in order to deal with your clipboard, then it's very fast and also very minimal. It's a really good way to do it. You can use rofi as well, but then Fuzzel is practically built for handling large volumes of data. So there's that. Now, if you wanted to do something like web search as well, you can. Fuzzel --d menu --lines equals 0, because you're not going to get any search results inside of here, right? Then --prompt, put down the prompt equals search, and then xargs -I, you put these curly braces here, and they are going to set up the command that's coming right now. xdg open https://duckduckgo.com/?q equals these 2 curly braces. And when you hit enter, you get this menu, and we can search something like hello world. When you do that, it opens inside of your browser, okay, because it's using xdg open. Ta-da, there you go. Awesome. And also, if you want to learn how to write scripts like these as well, little commands like xargs -I And then the power menu script, I teach you that inside of script sorcery, I'm pretty sure it was called. Yeah, no, it's called automation psychopathy. Here, I cover what shell scripts are, brief explanation, and scripts you're most likely to use inside of this module. So, if you want, you can click the first link in the description and check out the program for both the theme switcher as well as learning how to write scripts like this. Okay, now let me be straight about what you gain and what you lose compared to rofi. What you gain is speed, right? Fuzzel, as far as I've noticed, is measurably faster to open and respond. But you have to actually make it that way, which is by using certain window rules. So by default, it's going to pop in with the same slow-ass animation that you most likely already have for your existing launcher. If you want to just make it instant, go to your window rules, and just turn off animations for your launcher. So namespace, match namespace launcher, no anim on. So when you do that, it just appears instantly, which is good. It also has a simpler config that's easier to maintain, lower resource usage, built-in icon support without extra configuration, stuff like that, frequency-based sorting out of the box. Most of these features, even rofi has as well, but then the main thing that I would tell you is mostly the minimalist. So if you've heard of the suckless philosophy, this tries to stick to that a little bit more. And if you are one for minimizing bloat as much as possible and just using as little resources and basically just using as minimal of programs that you can with as less of a code base that you possibly can do so, okay, while still keeping all the necessary features, then yeah, Fuzzel is pretty good. Now, what do you lose then? Well, complex theming. rofi lets you build elaborate multi-column layouts with custom CSS, scroll bars, message boxes, and pixel-level control over every element. Fuzzel gives you colors, a boarding, a padding, and a font. That's the extent of your visual customization. If your rofi theme is a core part of your Rice's identity, with custom grid layouts or elaborate styling, Fuzzel cannot replicate that. You also lose rofi scripting modes. Rofi has a built-in scripting protocol that lets you create dynamic multi-step menus with state. Fuzzel's dmenu mode is powerful but then simpler. It's one-shot selection from std in to std out. You can build multi-step flows by chaining scripts, but it's not as integrated as rofi's native mode. My take would be, if your launcher is a visual centerpiece of your Rice and you've spent hours crafting a custom rofi theme, just keep rofi, okay? If your launcher, however, is a tool that you want to appear instantly, do its job, and then get out the way, Fuzzel is better at that than anything else available on Wayland. So, there's Fuzzel. Wayland native, absurdly fast, dead simple to configure, and more versatile than it looks thanks to dmenu mode. You can install it, theme it in 5 minutes, and feel the difference. Once you experience a launcher with zero delay, you'll understand why speed matters more than screenshots, at least in most cases. And if you want your entire Hyprland setup to feel this intentional, launcher, bar, terminal, colors, all of it working together, then Hyper gives you the full path. If you want, you can click the first link in the description right now and check out the program. If you liked the video, hit like. If you loved it and want to see more like this in your feed, hit subscribe, and I will see you next time. Stay racing.